All right. And then there was a question on mini chat versus chat widgets, right? So mini chats can be integrated directly into the platform, but the chat widget itself should actually take care of all of that functionality. And you can set up campaigns for that chat widget inside of the campaign builder. So that chat widget can be a conversational AI bot, or you can, not AI bot, but conversational bot, or you can just have that chat go directly into your Facebook Messenger, which you can access directly from the Mayshore method, the app, or you can access from desktop. So anytime a contact responds to something, those responses are all going to go into one place under conversations, or in the contact record itself, you'll have a conversation window. So all emails, texts, Facebook messages all populate into one place there. So you'll be able to go in and respond to any PM that you get from a chat widget. But if
Oh, that's
mini
cool.
chats is something that you guys would prefer to have because it's something that you're familiar with, we can do a workup on how to integrate that so that that can be used.
No, it was just more of a question of, will the chat widget work with the Facebook advertising and communications?
Oh, okay, so as in like replace the Facebook Messenger.
Uh, yes, I guess.
So
Yeah.
the chat widget's primarily going to be for your landing pages so that
Okay.
somebody can have a chat, a live chat on your page and send you a message directly.
So yeah, I mean, and with our ads, once this is set up, we're not going to be asking them to messenger us in Facebook anyways. We're going to be wanting them to go to the website.
Definitely. But if in the event that you do want a chat bot, mini chat is probably the route that I would go. It's a little more tried and true, but this does have very similar functionality that can be set up.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love a video on that. That'd be great.
Very good. I'll make sure that I put it on my to-do list. So daily tasks in dashboard. So the way that tasks work is every morning at 8 a.m. your list of daily tasks gets triggered and it goes live into your account. So any tasks that you schedule for yourself midday today, they're going to populate tomorrow at 8 a.m. I've spoken with the powers of be, and I know that's something that they're working on making a live function. So if I create a task for myself today, it populates today. But as of right now, it goes 8 a.m. the very next morning is when that task goes live on your dashboard so that you can complete them. And there's a checkbox list so that you can just go down the list and check the boxes as you complete the tasks
Right.
and knock those out.
And that would be based off of current running campaigns too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's really cool. Because I really like that about KV Core. I thought that was kind of sweet.
I dig that too. I like having that. I like having that daily checklist that you can just kind of power through.
Yeah.
Definitely, it helps keep everybody accountable. So the opportunity section, what you're going to be doing with opportunities is you're going to be moving clients from through that pipeline as you're working them. And so let me see if I have. Do we have anybody that has clients loaded into their CRM right now, or leads loaded into their CRM on the call?
I have just a couple contacts. That's it.
Okay, let me look on my side
Same.
again.
Scott Henninger might. His is like EXP. His snapshot.
Okay. EXP Realty, you said?
Yeah.
The easiest one in the bunch to find.
No identifying factors.
All right, let's go into contacts and see what he's got. He's only got a couple of contacts in there.
Okay. Also try Dave Bolova.
Yeah, on my side.
Like those two have been.
I've got in one of my accounts, I have it set for where I've got a test, so I can just kind of show how it works. So in pipelines, as your clients get loaded into a specific pipeline, so we have like Tessie McTesterson here. This is like a solid lead. and we call this an A+ lead. Anyways, so this has been moved into the services sold stage of the pipeline. So as you can see, we're gonna have different columns. So these are all gonna be different for what you guys have, because these are all the Mayshore group pipeline flows, right? But we would take, say, Jose Rodriguez, we'd move him into the hot lead bucket. What's going to happen is once it hits this stage of the pipeline, it's going to trigger all the events that are to be done from this stage of the pipeline. So if we look into, if we look at what's going on inside of the back end of your guys' platform, we will see, let's go into opportunities. So we go MGLB buyer lead flow. Oh, it looks like he does already have some folks that are in here. Cool. So we go from MGLB buyer lead flow right here. So if we were taking Lisa Byers and we take her from bucket A and we move her from lead buyer flow and move her into buyer consultation, all of the triggers from that MGB1B are going to go off. And it doesn't look like triggers loaded in this account. So this is.
So Brian, those are just drag and drop then, right?
They're completely drag and drop. And once you move it from one bucket to the next, it's going to automatically set off all of the triggers for this bucket and send
Sweet.
out those emails, texts, all that kind of stuff. So essentially what you do is you take your lead out of the gate, and once you've set up your Facebook form itself, fields are mapped and everything's all set up here. What you're then going to do is create a trigger for, like, say, JS5 119, and we would take this particular form and we would drop it into its respective pipeline. So if we don't have any questions for like time frame to buy or anything like that, and we're moving it directly into buyer lead follow-up, we would just have that go directly into that campaign, or into that opportunity, excuse me, and into that particular stage in the pipeline. And then once you've had a conversation with that lead, or you're in a position to make that move, you can simply drag and drop them, or in the contact record itself, you can go ahead into the opportunities and you can edit the opportunity and you can move it through the stage here as well.
That's not fun.
So there's a couple of different ways to complete that. This is going to be the most commonly used, because when you're on the phone with a client, you should be taking notes and adding notes into the system while you're on that conversation. So once you've booked an appointment, you can then readily move to the appointment, go ahead and add an appointment to that contact record, and then you go ahead and move it to that specific flow in the pipeline.
Wow, that's awesome.
The lead value, this is definitely something that I highly recommend everybody doing. This is going to reflect on your main dashboard, so that when you log in, you will see a pipeline value for what you've got in your lead list. So what we do on our side, if somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm looking for, if we get that question on Facebook answered where they say they're looking for a $350,000 to $450,000 house, we take the average of the two. So we would go 400,000 times 0.03 for your side of commission, and that would be the pipeline value for that individual contact. So if you track what your commissionable income could be from these leads, you're going to get a little bit more excited when you look at your pipeline value, and it's going to
Absolutely
a little more hop in your step to make those calls, because you're like, oh, there's all this money out here just waiting to be taken.
Exactly. Love it.
Wow, that's super powerful.
Yeah. Super.
And when you're saying move the like the lead form, are you basically saying you're creating a trigger from that lead form?
Yeah, so you would create a trigger for that particular lead form to go into, and I don't know why there aren't any triggers loaded on this account. There must have been an error when this particular account loaded in, so I'm going to go to somebody else's. Let's go to Scott's, or Kevin Scott's. There we go.
All the time.
Oh, dang it, Kevin. All right, so we do have a buyer satisfaction intro that gets triggered off of here. So essentially what we would do is we would go to create a new trigger. Let's go Facebook lead. Oops, not import. Facebook lead import. I'll delete this afterwards. Don't worry about it, Kevin.
It's all good.
And so we would say when Facebook lead form is submitted, we would then go in and add a filter and then select which form it was in the dropdown. So if we have the pre-approval versus pre-qualified PDF lead form, right? So then we would move over. This is for a buyer, correct, Kevin?
Yeah.
So then we would move over and we would update the opportunity. And in pipeline, we'll go ahead and select that particular pipeline flow. How do I get rid of this? Just say lead buyer hot 0 through 30 days is where we want it to be. We would then go into the pipeline stage, select the first stage. So as soon as this lead comes in, it's automatically going to move into that pipeline, and it's going to move into that stage. And all of the triggers built off of that individual stage are now going to fire. So any follow-up text, any follow-up emails, all that good stuff should fire off of the campaign itself. And then once we get into time-based triggers for moving them through the transaction coordination system, that's when it's all going to be based off of custom dates and custom times for those contacts to be sent out. So I will back out of this and it won't save.
The actions are the same as a campaign, right?
I'm sorry. So in the actions, let's do another one. Folder. So the actions themselves, you can do a lot of different things from this. So instead of just going in and updating a contact record and opportunity, let's just say that we were moving this lead, and let's just assume this is all the Facebook stuff we were just looking at. You can also go in and add additional triggers to this as well. So for example, if you want to add a particular note to this contact so that you know, or an ISA knows, hey, this is a lead that came from this specific source, you can add those notes in. You can have it execute a webhook, so it actually pushes that data into another database or a third-party platform where you have additional automation, or let's say a CMA needs to go out to that lead. You can execute a webhook from here, and you can have that webhook pointing to, let's say, Cloud CMA, for example, where the address information gets pulled directly to Cloud CMA. Their email address gets pulled to Cloud CMA, their name gets pulled to Cloud CMA, and then that would pre-generate and send a CMA automatically out to that individual.
Okay, we have to set that up. That is amazing.
Yeah, no, that's really freaking cool, actually.
I wish my brain worked like yours, Brian. It's like just mind-boggling. So much in there. It's so exciting.
That's-
But I'm like, I hope I can do it.
Like, so with my time at Zillow, and I mean, I've worked with thousands and thousands of agents nationwide. But one thing that is extremely apparent is that whatever can be automated needs to be automated, because the real estate agent's life is so hectic and busy, and you're getting pulled in so many different directions. Do all of these tasks for each individual. I mean, you've got to have just like the perfect blocked out schedule and have your time dialed in to get those things knocked out. So I love automating as many things as humanly possible because it removes that margin of error.
Mm.
The ability for somebody to say, oh, I forgot to send that out. Shit, I need to get that out to that lead.
Is that something you can set up as a template?
It is, and I'm testing it out right now with a handful of my clients. And so once I have that like perfect, I'm transitioning into this.
Okay, yeah, I'll sign up for that. I'll give my first child. Maddie, you got someplace to go.
Well, and to my knowledge, most of the MLSs out there are linked with Cloud CMA for free, right?
Most, yeah.
Pretty much everybody that I've talked to, from Florida to New York to California, it's been part of their MLS membership. So cool thing is,
Let me ask you though, Brian, I have a paid Cloud CMA account because I get more support.
Okay.
Would that be different?
I don't believe it would, because we just
Okay.
have so the way that the webhook works is based off of your user domain, I believe. I'll have to go back and double check how I have the triggers set up in my Zapier. But essentially what we do is we do an execute webhook from here. And then in Zapier, we do a catch hook. So it catches all of the data. And then we then hook it back out to Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA's trigger goes off and sends the CMA to the email that's linked with it. So what we're doing right now for our test run is we're adding the agent email and the contact email so that you get the email when it gets sent out to your client as well, which I think would be super beneficial for you guys, because then once you get the email, it's basically your notification to shoot your bomb video and cover that video or cover that CMA and then send it back out to those individuals.
Yeah.
I think
And then
Well, this
that's-
kicks butt on KV Core big time.
that
And
is
then
my-
we can also have a part of the campaign after that to send out our listing presentation too automatically.
You could. Absolutely. No, I mean, so with this platform, this is like, when I say this is a Lego set for anybody that wants to, like, anybody that wants to automate tasks in the CRM, it legitimately is. And there's so many things that you can do with this platform that's completely unreal. There's a new rollout for a workflow builder that is actually going to make all of the campaign setup and everything should be rolled out really soon. It's going to make all of the campaign trigger setup, everything just seamless and simplistic. It's a drag and drop system where, okay, lead comes into the system, and then you've just got a tree that goes down, and you select whether you want to call, whether you want to text, whether you want to email. And it's also set so that we can import the current campaigns into the workflow builder so that you have a much more visual presentation of how it all works. And you can make changes on there in one fell swoop. So having to go into campaigns and then go into triggers, so that you've set, now that our campaign's set up, now we have to go in and make sure that our triggers are all set up for everything. We've essentially taken that and it's all gone into one place under the workflows.
Hey, Brian, I love this. And I'm just thinking, if it triggers a CMA, can we have another trigger after that, within 24 hours, that it would trigger from Vimeo? Our pre-listing video would actually go out to that account who asked for the CMA?
Yeah, so what we would do is we would just have that pre-listing video as part of a campaign for that.
Oh, that is so freaking awesome.
And so those happen. The CMA step 1, CMA step 2 have been loaded into the new snapshot, and they actually should all be in everybody's right now. But we're going to bring a new one.
Yeah, they're not.
That's a game changer right there, dude. I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. The less I do, the better.
Wait, so
Well-
reload in one.
Well, getting that pre-listing video sent out with the this is just awesome. I love it.
Brian, I can guarantee you they're not in mine.
That's because we haven't updated you yet.
Yeah, I've looked high and low for them.
And that
Can
is,
look in mine.
Mine might be. I think you updated mine, didn't you? Or I don't know.
oh, it's because I have SEO in there. Like looking at this going, oh no, where did everybody's account go? Let's get rid of those.
Are you guys going on for 2 hours today?
I don't think we have enough people to go on for 2 hours.
I was like, we're here if you guys have questions, but
I have to run to my skin in the game call.
Yeah, I have a KV Core call at 9 o'clock to try to get that mess squared away. So
We will have a much more in-depth meeting next Friday, and it's going to be at 1 o'clock, Alex. Next Friday.
yep.
Okay.
It'll either be at 1 or it'll still be at 8, depending on if we're able to figure all this out and launch next week.
Okay. Once you know, please let me know so I can move my
Yeah.
schedule around. I would love the 1 o'clock. I'm not a morning person. I usually wake up at 8 a.m. So this morning I'm like groggy. I've got a Red Bull. Hey, thanks, God.
Where are you, Brian?
I'm in Washington State, so I'm actually in the Tri-City.
We're all in the same time zone from
We're all in the
almost
same time zone.
most of us.
I think that's funny that 8 a.m. is early.
yeah, I say, dude, come on my skin in the game call at 5:15. We'd love to have
Right.
you.
That's some real skin in the game right there.
Right there. You got skin in the game if you make those calls.
I used to get up at 5 every morning because I worked all my East Coast clients starting at 6. And I don't know, now that I run Be Known Advertising, I'm, I've got salespeople that make those calls and get up and do that stuff. I get up at 8, get my day started at 9, get everything that we need done and knocked out by 5 in the afternoon.
That's the way to do it if you can.
Those are the perks from being the top
Sometimes I
dog.
get
Yeah.
in there until midnight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I know Alex has gotten some super late night emails from me, and she's probably like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?"
I have to. Hey, you know what? Krista does the same thing. So I have that do not disturb on at night, or I get like emails from Krista at 11, 1 o'clock, 2:30, 3.
Yeah, there.
Brian sprinkled in between.
There's definitely been times where I've sent emails at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when we have a meeting at 7. Like, but kind of burning the candles at both ends. So we'll we'll leave that for another day.
Well, thank you guys for all the support. We love it. Can't do it without you. So thank you.
Truth.
I appreciate you guys letting me be here. Keep the questions rolling in. I've got that the email with the list of questions. I've got a handful of videos that I need to shoot for you guys and get done. I apologize that they're not ready and not here for you guys yet. I've just got a lot of stuff that I'm juggling right now to keep everything flowing.
Will those videos be added to Kajabi once they're done? So they'll be in the training in there? Okay.
Yep.
I'll get them over to Alex. She'll get them to you guys. Everybody should have access. So.
And I am working on last week's call, guys. There are some videos uploaded in Kajabi now from last week's call. So if you need some review, some things we did last week, we're working on getting those in there.
How
Excellent.
will we know if they're added into, like, say, somewhere that we've already gone through?
I'll have like
There's
a
number of videos and there's no check mark.
if there's no check
Oh.
mark, it means you haven't watched it.
Thank you. That's pretty basic.
Next week I'll try and be on the call next week. But I'll definitely want that raw recording so I can watch it on my own, because
Are you going to be on the call from your lounge chair with a drink in your
probably-
hand?
if it's the 8 a.m. it'll be from my room. If it's 1 p.m. it'll be from the poolside with a margarita.
All right, guys. Thank you. I'm going to jump on this KV Core call. So thanks very much, guys. Have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Take care,
Super
Mike.
excited about this
All right.
platform. Thank you so much,
yeah, it's
Brian.
gonna be awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Morning, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.